You're live. All right. Woohoo. All right. Now we're live at two spots. We're both live on Facebook and live on YouTube. So, welcome everyone to Lighten Up. It's Only Light. I'm Vero, owner of Sacred Crystals, here again for season 2. Very excited.
Wow.
And this is my home slice.
Hey, everybody. It's Christina Kozlik coming to you live from 727.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. This is 2.0 for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 2. We're here. We're back. We're ready to go. Having a good time. Yeah. So we've got some really exciting news. As everyone knows, Christina is a designer, and her brand is Pussy Army. And we carry it at the store at Sacred Crystals, and it's carried at other boutiques around Florida as well. And she just did a huge photo shoot and has this great premonition. Tell us about what's going on with Pussy Army.
Well, okay. So Pussy Army people, thank you, Vero. Just let me tell you guys something. This is my hero. Okay. It's true. She's enabling people to grow on the daily and kind of live out their dreams on the daily. That takes a lot of energy, a lot of love, a lot of compassion. So I'm grateful. I just wanted to express that to you right now.
Thank you so much.
I'm so forgetful sometimes. It's really important to seize the opportunities and make sure that you're addressing the people that are in your heart and in your world. So thank you.
Thank you, Goddess.
Now, I'm a crybaby right now because, Pussy Army is just this person, this gorgeous model. I don't know if I'm supposed to say her name or not, so I don't know how that works as far as etiquette goes. So I won't. But we did an amazing photo shoot, and it's on. Pussy Army is going to be everywhere. We're going to be traveling all over the planet and beyond, because my space ancestors needs a little bit of this stuff too. They're the ones that drive me forward to bring this to you, actually. But yeah, Pussy Army for life. There's something about Pussy Army that's going to bring about so much change. At least in my heart, it feels this way.
Yeah.
It's going to bring some peace to this planet. I think it heals wounds of the womb.
Nice. That's good stuff.
Yeah. And I saw in my little vision, Megan Thee Stallion, Missy Elliott, Dolly Parton, and Cardi B all on stage together performing in Pussy Army garments, Pussy Army tanks, Pussy Army wife beaters. It's kind of like whatever they were responding to, that's what they kind of wore, and they were bedazzled. And a huge nod to Missy Elliott. She kind of first brought on the scene her backup dancers wearing men's white briefs. And I'm going to be bringing that shit back, because that was in my vision too. And it was bedazzled, and it had Pussy Army on the butt and then a pussy patch on the crotch.
Nice.
So they were all rocking it out on the stage. And I just believe that's what's going to happen next. I don't know why I'm vomiting it out now for you, but that's what's about to go down.
Well, that's the vision.
Yes.
And going into the spiritual, you have to see it in your mind. You have to believe it in your mind before it can ever happen in the world. So you're seeing it, you're believing it. It's already happened. It's already happened.
The power and energy that was behind it, because everybody was having so much fun too. It's like everybody just owned their nest. Own your nest, people. Whatever your nest is, own the
S, like
F out of it.
NESS?
Yes.
Yeah.
NESS. Own your nest.
Yeah, and that is what this life experience is all about, is owning your nest, owning it and experiencing it. And like every single human has a path, has a vision, has something they can give to everyone else. that really you're giving for yourself, like, because that's got to be the number one, taking care of this person here. And then when you do that, it takes care of everyone else. It's like you're doing your part to be a part of this whole collective, creative, co-creative existence, right?
It's so true. It's honoring and trusting it too. Sometimes the stuff sounds truly bizarre.
Yeah.
Like when you came along several years ago, opening up a crystal shop in a mall, people probably thought you were whacked out.
Because
like
people sometimes still
they
think
weren't
I'm whacked
even.
out.
I know they weren't even like the crystals. What are you talking about? And in a mall, no. This person had a vision. This person responded. They knew that crystals were something that their body energetically responded to and identified with in a real nurturing, medicinal way and a helpful way. She's helping the planet. She's helping everybody on it. The people that walk into her store are all healed. You know what I'm saying? So, hello, do what you love.
Yeah, that's
Even
that.
if it sounds abstract and crazy, do it.
Yeah, that is the point of it. Do what you love. If you're doing what you love, you obviously will feel amazing. And if you feel amazing, you're in alignment because your emotions guide you. So if you're in alignment with yourself, with your higher self, you and you are working together, then there's nothing that can stop you, right? Like you are just on fire doing what you're called to do in this world. And that's how I've been feeling lately, honestly, Christina. Like we took a little break from the podcast to sort of fill our own wells. It was summertime, good.
The cotton was high, baby.
Yeah, and
we plucked it too.
Yeah, we had a good time. And then recently we did that little Freya moon ceremony, which I found so like enlivening. We did a fire pit, we did some burning. Christina's been shedding, so she's been giving away some of her fun things. And,
it's a big deal.
Yeah, why don't you talk about that? What the value of letting go?
Well, I've dragged stuff around with me for so long. We drag all this stuff around with us for so long, thinking that it has like this real need in our lives, or that we'll need it. It might be something that we need down the road, or and it's true. You may, I don't know, and that's true for some of the stuff that I just ditched. But when I do finally release some of the items that I know are not serving anybody or anything, and it isn't living its purpose. And I want those items to fulfill their purpose too. Like it's real stingy and selfish of me if I don't let a pair of earrings that I'm never going to wear because I don't have my ears pierced, you know what I'm saying, not live their destiny. So the maker of those items wanted those items to be used for the best way intended. And so that's when you give, and you give in that way, and you know that you're freeing up that item so that it can be used in its highest, most best life, then I'm really at peace with that.
Yeah. And I feel like what I love about you and about your experience with like these items, for example, is like you're inspired when you like are out and you see something that's really amazing, even if you don't have your ears pierced. You're like, wow, this is a beautiful piece of art. This is something gorgeous, and you buy it anyway, knowing that you probably won't wear it, but it will travel through you.
Yes.
To somewhere, and that's how we should all, I don't want to say should, but that's how I want to live my life, is to be inspired at every moment of it, to be like, oh, I don't know why, but for some reason I'm inspired to this. And you get it, and you don't know what you're going to do with it. And then maybe a few months go by, or years go by, doesn't matter. There is no time really anyway, right? Yeah. So you get this, and you you pass it on when it's time, like when it feels right. And that's, I mean, that's how to live a really creative, inspired, artistic life, is to allow your inspiration to flow free all the time. Like, and don't let anything like get in the way. Like anything that's temporary or not even that real. Like, for example, you might see, like, say one of these pairs of earrings, right? You might see it and you're so inspired to get it, but maybe they're $20 and don't have your ears pierced, right? And you're like, well, they're $20. I don't even have my ears pierced. Don't let that stop you. Grab them.
It doesn't. I'm like, I like them. I'm getting them.
Yeah.
For whatever reason,
Yeah, and because you're following your bliss.
Yeah.
That's
right,
what it
Vero,
is.
that is what it is.
You're seeing it, and like, so that thing is going to have another purpose. You're part of the journey of that, and it may be material, right? It may be material, but this whole existence that we're creating is material. Yeah. We are not dead. We are still here.
We're dense. We're like little fleshy things.
Yeah, we're here, and this is the material world, and we're experiencing, living it, enjoying it. It's what we came for. And when we're like too good to be part of it, that's when we're gone.
Yeah, when you're yeah. I think we all have those little bouts. I think there's all this little, we get to experience that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just to bring us back in and ground us once more.
Yeah.
Into the here and now.
Yeah.
Sometimes we float.
And we were just talking about monk mode. I know, has anybody out there ever gone into monk mode? I certainly have. Where, because I could tell you, like right now, I've been so like out of the loop of everything. I haven't even really been listening to many podcasts lately, like, which is where I get a lot of my information. And I'm totally okay with it. I have no idea what's popular. I have no idea what's going on in the world. I have a teenage daughter, right? And the only thing I know about what's going on in the world is that for some reason she really loves this musician. And I expected this musician to be like some teenage boy, right? But no, this Tom Rosenthal is the musician, and he's a dad. He's married. He just makes great music, and she loves him. I'm like, awesome. Wow, this is. I am so far out of pop culture.
There's no groupies anymore, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the internet, I guess it's like it's a whole different world, because it's not so elitist as far as like industry goes, whether it's the actors or the musicians or the writers or the poets. It's not so elitist. There's so much content out there, and there's so many different paths you can go on, that you can find like amazing trails of art to follow that
don't even have to travel.
Yeah,
it's right there. All you have to do is open up your laptop or your phone. Isn't that amazing?
It is.
It's like we've gotten smaller but bigger at the same time.
Yeah.
We've gotten closer because now we have access to all of these things that at one point we would have to travel by boat. One time we only got around by our feet. That was it.
Yeah.
So, and how is right? Like, so sky's the limit.
Yeah. And
we are the limit. Like, if we limit ourselves, sorry.
Well, and it's also like we've extended our lifetime, like, so say back in the day, people didn't live as long, true, depending on the time period you're talking about, but say in the 1800s, like not going too far back, the lifespan was, people were not living into their 90s, 100s, right? It was more like 60s, right? I don't even know if that's true. I don't have any documentation on that.
But there was a period in time where maybe people weren't living their best life.
Well, and not living as long, but
Yeah.
they also, they got around at best by horse and buggy, and or big ships. There were ships, that were traveling back and forth between the different continents, but like the time it took, even just to get a message from one place to another, was a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
And to then hear back
the birth of a child. They're 2-3 years old now, and you're getting the word,
right? So now we're in this instant age where everything is communicated instantly.
Yeah.
But at the same, so it's like because of that, our life is like even longer than relatively.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That. Yeah.
So we're expanding out, but the universe is ever expanding, right?
Yes.
We're constantly expanding.
It's true. I think that's just what we're supposed to do. And then go back around and shrink again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gets, we cycle back around. I think we get smaller and then we get back big again.
Yeah.
There's like a revolution.
Wait, explain that. What do you mean, like we get smaller and get bigger again? How could you explain that?
I kind of think that that's what happens when there's cataclysmic events.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I think it kind of like cycles around. I think it's a cycle. It's just the movement, the natural cycle of ness.
Yeah. It's interesting because cataclysmic events, we know from the most recent one, which was about 11,000 years ago, that it completely changed the planet. That they've discovered in different layers of soil that, like, after this, like before this cataclysmic event, there's bones of like the saber tooths, and maybe even giants. Like there's all these different big things that are just gone.
Yeah.
They just stop existing. Yeah, dinosaurs were a cataclysm, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that a lot of these cataclysms seem to be caused by meteors, like something coming in from the outside, and in our little atom here, and knocking into Earth and changing everything in an instant.
Yeah.
Which I find fascinating because it's something that could happen again.
Any old time, like you're trying to prepare for it, and they got like NASA dark teams, trying to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think that's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think it's hysterical that we are trying to keep a meteorite from hitting our planet. That's just a gas. I mean, that we've got like.
Where's Bruce Willis when you need him?
I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of funny. It's like we as a species, I guess by design, we are just the root reason is to survive. That's it. That's it. That's what's that's in our that's our animal nature.
Yeah.
That's what's in our DNA is survival at all costs. To the point that we have built a machine that goes out into space and tries to change the trajectory of a meteorite that might be, pointing itself at us as a threat. So we are always trying to do something to ensure our survival.
Yeah.
That is without question. And if we think that there is like some little meteorite out there because of past incidents, we're like, not this time, boo. I got you. I got a dart machine that's throwing you off your course. You know what I'm saying? It's just so funny. Like we learn from the past.
Yeah.
And we're like, Not on my watch. You're not coming for me, you meteorite rock. But there's so much good stuff that comes out of a meteorite crashing on your planet. There can be some really great stuff. I'm sorry.
Maybe not for us.
Right. But sorry.
Future.
I had a little cough.
Future.
It's just funny.
Incarnations.
We just do what we are. We're just designed to try to live without any. We don't want anybody stopping us. We are determined to survive.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I mean, that plays out in like our in a less cataclysmic way with different countries, different wars over time, different, it's like every we divide. It's funny how we divide ourselves into we're better, we're better, we're better, we're better, and until finally it comes to a meteorite where we're like,
let's
okay,
be one planet.
So it's time to be one.
Other.
It's time to be one planet because we've all got to come together because this is outside, rather than fighting each other. It's funny.
So crazy. And I've wondered about that too. I'm like, why? Why war? Like from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Why these things? Like, what is up? It's like that's supposed to happen. Is that by design? Is that the great divine plan? I want to say maybe it's the great divine plan that we all finally just wake up out of knowing that that isn't the plan, that we should never be doing that kind of stuff, that we shouldn't be hurting each other or enslaving people and stuff like that,
Yeah.
And why? Because it's like beginning of time. You go back, you're like, yeah, there they were. Everybody, at war. It's never stopped. I think it's because survival.
Yeah, it's a human instinct, survival.
Yeah. One time, Vero, I had a little vision.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. I've only ever told one other person this.
Oh, now you're going to tell everybody.
I had a vision, and Black Panther is my feminine, female animal totem. Okay. She came to me and took me back way, way, way. And it seemed like I was maybe in Africa. And I was part of a tribe, and she was part of a tribe. It was a Black Panther tribe. And I don't know what tribe I was on, but I was part of a tribe. But I definitely knew that Black Panther was in Black Panther tribe. And what I understood, what I was told by Black Panther was that the tribes went to war, quite seriously, hear me out, people, over a chicken. A chicken. We were at a place in our history where there wasn't much going on for us to eat or drink. But there were tribes. There were tribes, indigenous people of this planet. And they went to war over a chicken because of survival.
Wow. That's wild.
That's what I was told.
Better be a good chicken.
Well, we were starving.
Well, I hope it was a hen who could lay eggs, because one chicken is not going to feed
a
whole tribe.
I don't need it. Yeah, and it's just like it just like kind of takes you back to this, like you just have to you do what you have to do at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Instead of maybe potentially thinking with our great minds a different solution.
Okay.
We opted at that time, back then, way, way back then, to not think of another solution. We opted to react with a different type of solution.
That's really interesting. I love that. I love when you have these visions because it's divine consciousness, and Christina lives very close, very, very in alignment, so very in alignment with her higher self, and all of these like visions come from an inner knowing, like it's a gift, and they all have lessons in them as well, like it's, is it really worth it to go to war over a chicken? Like but there's always a message that we can bring into this time, because of the eternal nature of our beings, that we can bring this message into this time, and that let that eternal knowledge flow through to us now.
Yeah, ancient future. I mean, it don't even sometimes feel like it's my knowledge. I mean, I know it's just like accessing the knowledge that's
Yeah.
everywhere within. I mean, it's not just within me. Like I kind of feel like it's everywhere
Yeah.
energetically.
Yeah.
You
This
can
is
potentially access this knowledge,
well, and this is why we meditate, and some people that have been practicing this longer are better able to just instantly call up information or get the visions. But we if that's not like readily available, we meditate, because that becomes available. And the more you meditate, the more you practice emptying the mind, the more that information that is source energy, that is divine intelligence, is present for you. So you want to make a practice of meditating like 20 minutes a day, so that you can connect to this higher self, this higher knowing, this eternal self, this infinite intelligence that has answers to everything. I mean, there is, it's absolutely intelligent guidance. And where I've experienced this myself. When you have reached that place in meditation, when you hear yourself talking back to yourself, but it's not yourself. You're meditating, and you're clearing the mind, and then something pops in, and it's not it's not you. It's not something but it is something that your higher self knows, and now you're communicating with higher self. And that's the goal, right? Is to get to communicate with higher self, so that we can make sense of this eternal being that we are right now.
Yeah. Because to Vero's point, and I love how you described the sensation, because I think, like, if you aren't accustomed to sensations like that, because it is a physical sensation, you'll feel kind of energetic in your body, and maybe in your brain, and even in your heart. Your heart might even palpitate a little differently for you, depending on some of the feelings that the meditation brings in, or the energies that the meditation brings in.
Mm-hmm.
But don't be afraid of those. Just kind of go with it, and kind of lean into it if you can, because there's like another side to it. It's like if you can get past some of those little energies, that's where a lot of the knowledge and the information starts coming through. Because maybe you've opened up and you're willing to accept that this energy needs to come on, and it kind of be integrated. Yeah. So it's good that you kind of just explain what the sensation would even be like for that type of thing. And it might be different for everybody, but it seems like maybe a little the same.
And I think some of that different for everybody is in how we address it, or how we acknowledge it. Because like, for me, a firm believer in the oneness of all things, higher self is it's tapping into that oneness, which is all that is for me. But for some people, it might be tapping into something more like a little bit more contained, like tapping into a goddess energy, or tapping into the energy of the moon, or tapping into, you know, a being, like an ancestor, or even the sun.
Yep.
You know, because Christina often taps right into the sun. And so connect. No, it doesn't matter how you like call that energy, how you connect to that energy. In my opinion, it's all the same energy, whether it's like me connecting to the oneness of all that is, I am God type of thing, which I mean, for some is sacrilege, you know, to say, but I believe that God is omnipotent, omnipresent, and there's another omni. I'm forgetting the other omni, but and it's so
omnipresent, omnipotent,
all knowing, all seeing, all being. You know, like so with that said, the term God being in everything, there is nothing that is not God. That is the oneness of all things, including yourself. God cannot be omni everything if you put God outside of yourself. So that's my like worldview, you know, but like sometimes it's easier, I think, or just maybe not easier is not the right word. Maybe it's just another way of connecting, to be alone here yourself and have a presence that you can then connect to. Like for example, and I see there's some comments on Facebook, and we'll get to those afterward, because I can't reach it or read it from here.
We'll definitely respond, though.
We'll definitely respond.
And thank you.
Yeah. So by allowing the eternal nature of all that is to be something outside, you can then connect to it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Rather than being already in it. You know, for me that works, but for some people, the having the connection outside of self,
it helps.
You're right, to connect. Yeah,
I think you're right.
And there's no wrong way to do anything. Like nothing is ever wrong. It's just doing what spiritually is right for you to connect and be part of all that is. Yeah.
Sometimes it really does help to have a reference point, if you will.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
To focus on the thing that you're trying to commune with, or trying to bring, you know, or kind of bring into you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's odd, but yeah. But I think the eternal self, if I think about it, and that's the higher consciousness self that we were trying to tap into, you know, and meet with and be with. That God energy, if you can just see a point of light in the behind you, okay, a point of light, a ball of light behind you, then have that point of light just keep retreating, backing up, even further and further into the distance. And you keep having this point of light behind you, and moving ever further away from you. It's still light, you can still see it, but that is you. The beginning of everness. The beginning of ness, that point of light back there, that's you, and you are just bringing it forward into this here and now. So you have access to all of the ness that was behind you, which is from the beginning of God time.
Yeah.
God. I mean, so I don't know. I think if you can kind of have that little reference that you are that anything that was behind you, you were that too.
Yeah, and that's actually for me, a really easy visual when you were describing it. I was able to sit here, close my eyes, and see that light behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's very, very interesting.
You can put that point of light anywhere. Okay. So when you do need that point of light, that reference point, stick it wherever you want it. If you need information from the past, the eternal self that was you, that has been you all along, that is the God you, that's you today, but you left something back there, maybe put the point of light behind you potentially so that you can retreat and take yourself back to that place. That might be a little easier for you to get to that moment, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But point of light can go anywhere. When you need healing, point of light. If you have a specific area in your body that might need a little love, a little attention, even if it's your mind space that needs just a break, a breather from trauma or day to day, whatever,
Yeah.
point of light, just take it there. Sometimes, truthfully, can I tell you, my hip bothers me. I get inflamed. Inflammation, take that point of light and guide it. And just ask the point of light to work for you and do what it needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Heal you, whatever this is, free you from an emotion. If there's, it can assist you in all ways.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's one thing I do.
Yeah. Well, the it just goes to the nature of all things being like we have this 3D reality that we are focused on. This is real, but what really is real? Like because it actually the more experiments that have been done with projecting thought and such like this 3D reality has is only what it is because you believe it is what it is. It is all just your belief. You can change your beliefs at any time, so you can change your beliefs and uh, like the work of Joe Dispenza, for example, who is helping people to heal uh, using science to back up co-creation, law of attraction, manifesting, using science to back all of that up. He has these retreats where people like have incredible healing experiences.
That's awesome.
Like it's almost like the movies of the past where the preacher is like, "You are healed," and the person in the wheelchair walks, right? But that can happen, and we do it for ourselves. It's a matter of us healing ourselves because we change our beliefs, and by changing our beliefs, we're literally changing how our cells are interacting with each other. So there is so much power in, and I don't know if it's really the mind. I think it's the heart.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so much power in connecting the heart and mind so that we can heal, we can have a different experience of life. There's times when I will get lost in my own head and get like these, you've seen me go there where I'm like, I don't, like, I know that I can believe this, but I'm for some reason choosing to believe this, and I get like this battle going on inside of me because I'm letting what is what I'm allowing myself to see really affect like my world, and you can change that. And that sounds a little cray cray, but I'm saying ignore what is and focus on what is wanted, what you desire, not what is lacking, because wanted can sometimes mean lacking. What is desired? So your desires, like if you focus on them and see them only as the positive, beautiful things that they are, that's what happens.
Yes, please, and more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it comes up in your mind, right?
Yeah.
Like what you are desiring, these inspirations, these motivations. A lot of the times, this is like the dream that pops up into your mind. So that's energy.
Yeah. And your emotions guide your energy. So, when you're feeling great, you are great because your emotions are guiding your energy. When you're feeling off, you are off because your emotions are guiding your energy. And there is a way to get from one to the other, and that basically is meditation.
Yeah. I think the part where we're kind of like a little bit in turmoil, a little bit in conflict, where we feel conflicted with our heart and mind, like it's something in the mind is not meeting with the heart.
Yeah.
And when that happens, we kind of feel like we're not understanding. We feel more confused. We're not sure what our way is. We feel like there's not an answer that's clear to us that is going to benefit us. And that puts us in a place sometimes of not feeling very delicious. Okay. It kind of builds maybe sometimes anxiousness and fearfulness because the answer has not come in. It is not clear what our steps or actions should be. And when that happens, it kind of puts us in a state where we feel that we're not sure. To the mind, I was going to say to the egoic mind, and it is kind of to the egoic mind. To the mind, that's a worry. That doesn't feel comforting, okay? But what I think it represents, this space and time that I'm talking about, where there's uncertainty, unknowingness, and we're looking for the answer and clarity, and it just feels like it's taking too much time for us to know. I believe that is by design. Those times are the times that we are probably should be sitting in meditation, like you said, because we don't have the clarity we need. We don't have the illumination on the subject that we need. We haven't gotten clear guidance from higher self, divine God, even though we're expecting it immediately, and our impatient self wants it right then and there so we can act right then and there. We know that that's not how it works. So when that happens, because that is the divine cycle, we do kind of need to, that's the monk mode time.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. The monk mode is okay.
Yeah, it is. And we kind of like did, and then we're launching off. That's like the moon, going through her cycles. We go through those too.
Yeah.
And just honor them and appreciate them and kind of go with the flow instead of forcing it to be over. Because I think when we force something and force a decision or force something that we think is clearness and really isn't, because we want our mind wants to believe that it is so, just let it happen naturally without forcing it if you can.
Yep. That
growing pains.
Well, when you're forcing, you're out of alignment. You're not connected to your higher self, to your best self.
Yeah.
And it's those moments that clarify things for you. So when you're having those moments where you're out of whack, so to speak, it helps you to clarify so that you can then come back into alignment and grow from there.
It helps. It's almost like you go through that little awakening again. It's like each time you're in those little lulls or dips where you're confused and not clear, that's almost like an opportunity because of its growth opportunities. It's kind of like a little awakening, a mini awakening each time.
Yeah. So in conclusion, because I think we covered a lot without even knowing what we were going to talk about today, which was pretty fun. But like living your best self, which is your NESS, NESS, your your selfness, your realizationness, your expressiveness, living your ness, like really truly allows you to bloom in this life and enjoy it. Because what is the point, man? You life life should be enjoyed. So by living our best selves, living our purpose, being the crazy pussy army rock star designer that you are, being the crystal shop in the malls, and
Who knew?
yeah,
It's amazing.
that's our nest. That's what we're doing, and it's constantly evolving. I'm noticing everything is constantly evolving and changing, and that's awesome. Like let it constantly grow and evolve. It's beautiful. And just whenever you're feeling that spot, where you're unsure, go into meditation, go into self, go and find that point of light behind your head, and allow yourself to connect and see what happens. Do you got anything to add in conclusion?
I don't. Just grateful. Grateful to be back.
Yeah, grateful to be back. This was a fun first
was.
episode, season 2. Yeah. So once again, I am Vero. I'm the owner of Sacred Crystals, and so grateful for all of you and all of the community that has become Sacred Crystals, and grateful to be growing myself. And this is
It's your home slice, Christina Kosick. Thank you. Pussy
Yeah.
Army for life.
Yes. All right, blessings, you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. Bye. Yeah, doing all the endings.